Welcome to the 10th episode of African Mega Projects. In this episode, we will talk about the Nigerian Standard Gauge Railway. A railway that will connect Nigeria's vast inland states with its coastal states and ports, facilitating trade and boosting economic growth in Nigeria. Nigeria, the vibrant country in West Africa with its capital in Abuja, spans 923,769 square kilometers. Currently home to 213 million people, its population is projected to soar to 400 million by 2050. This rapid growth poses an urgent challenge, accelerating economic development. A significant barrier to this goal is the inadequate transport infrastructure. Recognizing this, the Nigerian federal government is making substantial investments in a standard gauge railway system to replace the outdated narrow gauge tracks. This upgrade enables high-speed train operations, facilitating the swift and efficient transport of goods and people. By connecting the resource-rich inland regions with the bustling coastal consumer markets and port cities, the standard gauge railway is a critical step towards unlocking Nigeria's economic potential. In this exciting 10th episode, we look at the limitations of Nigeria's narrow gauge railway system, a remnant of the British colonial era. This is followed by a look at the progress being made on the standard gauge line. We'll look at completed sections such as the Abuja-Kaduna line and ongoing projects such as the Kano line. We'll also explore future plans for lines such as the Lagos-Calabar railway. Finally, we'll discuss the challenges the federal government faces in delivering on this mega project. Historically, Nigeria has relied on road transportation. This has limited the country's ability to transport significant quantities of goods and people. During the colonial era, Britain built Nigeria's 3,505 km narrow gauge railway to consolidate administration, align with global trends, and transport raw materials from central regions to the coast regions for export. Construction began in 1898 and finished in 1960. The railway was divided into two lines. The western line runs from Lagos to Nguru, while the eastern line extends from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri. The existing narrow gauge tracks, limited to speeds of 65 km per hour, are insufficient for Nigeria's transport requirements. Therefore, Nigeria is transitioning to standard gauge railways for three reasons. First, standard gauge tracks accommodate larger, more modern trains, boosting passenger and freight capacities. Second, they support speeds of up to 150 km per hour, significantly improving travel efficiency. Third, their compatibility with international rail systems facilitates cross-border trade and travel, integrating Nigeria more seamlessly with global markets. As of 2024, Nigeria has 507 km of operational standard gauge railway, SGR. This length is significantly below the target set out in the 25-year modernization plan, which was initiated in 2002. The $60 billion modernization plan was going to connect all 36 states and economic centers. The government was supposed to provide 20% of the budget, with the rest coming from local and foreign investors. In this plan, only 505 kilometers has been built after 22 years. To make logistics easier, the standard gauge railway was split into four main lines. The first line is the Lagos-Kano, with 1,343 kilometers long. It connects the vibrant port city of Lagos on the Atlantic Ocean with the bustling city of Kano, situated near the border with Niger. It passes through the heart of the country, through the national capital, Abuja. On this line, the first laid tracks was Abuja-Kaduna sections. This rail of 184 kilometers cost $874 million. It was financed by a loan of $500 million from China's Export-Import Bank and $374 million from the Nigerian government. Construction of this segment was initiated by China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation (SEC) in 2011 and completed in 2014. The railway was officially inaugurated by Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari in 2016. The second laid tracks on Lagos-Kano line is Lagos-Ibadan double track with a length of 156 kilometers. It was done at a total cost of $1.5 billion. It was financed by China's Export-Import Bank. It was contracted to China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation in 2012. The construction started in 2017 and was completed in 2022. At its inauguration, President Buhari stated, "This vital line establishes an end-to-end logistic supply chain in railway transport within its short corridor, Lagos-Ibadan, as goods to the hinterland would now be transported by rail directly from the Apapa port straight to the inland container depot located in Ibadan, from where it can be distributed to other parts of the country." The second route is Port Harcourt-Maiduguri, with a projected length of 1,443 kilometers. The project, which commenced in March 2022, is being constructed by the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation (SEC) with an investment of approximately $3.2 billion. The project's objective is to replace the existing narrow-gauge Eastern Line and enhance passenger and freight services nationwide. Upon completion, it will notably reduce travel time between Port Harcourt and Maiduguri, stimulate economic growth, and facilitate the movement of goods and people. The third line is the coastal railway line from Lagos to Calabar, with a length of 1,402 kilometers. The railway line connects Lagos, the largest and capital city, to Calabar, a port city in the southeast region, situated close to the border with Cameroon. The estimated cost of the project is approximately $14.4 billion. In 2021, the federal government secured $11.17 billion in funding from Standard Chartered Bank. The remaining financing will be provided by EXIM Bank of China. The project is being constructed in two phases. The first phase runs between Calabar and Port Harcourt, while the second phase connects Port Harcourt to Lagos through Onitsha. This railway is contracted by China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation (SEC). Construction is ongoing, with completion expected in 2030. The fourth line is Warri to Abuja, passing through Baro and Lokoja. In 2019, the Nigerian government signed a $3.9 billion contract with the China Railway Construction Company International (CRCCI) for the construction of the line. It also included constructing a new Warri seaport. Nigeria would finance 15%, the CRCC would cover 10%, and the remaining 75% would be financed through a loan from China's Export-Import Bank. To cover 75% loan repayment to the Chinese bank, the CRCC would manage the Itakpi-Abuja rail line and the Warri seaport for a period of 30 years upon its completion. Other extension routes from the main route include Kano-Maladi Standard Gauge Railway. It is 393 kilometers long rail line being developed between Kano in northern Nigeria and Maradi in southern Niger. The cost of the project is $1.9 billion. It is expected to be completed by 2025. Constructing Nigeria's standard gauge railway faces several significant challenges. Firstly, securing consistent and adequate funding is a major hurdle. The immense scale of the project demands substantial financial resources, making continuous financing a critical concern. Secondly, Nigeria's diverse and often challenging landscape complicates construction efforts, adding to the project's complexity. Thirdly, the availability of construction materials, equipment, and skilled labor can be limited, impacting both project timelines and progress. Building a standard gauge railway in Nigeria is an incredible investment that will pay off in the long run. The standard gauge railway is set to give a massive boost to trade volumes of up to 30%, an incredible opportunity for growth and expansion. This will lead to a fantastic 2 to 3% surge in GDP. The railway is set to generate over 100,000 jobs and save Nigeria around $1 billion annually in road maintenance costs, an incredible boost to the economy. And there's more. The improved infrastructure is set to attract significant foreign direct investment, FDI, which will bring even more benefits to the country. A huge thank you once again for staying with us in this episode. We'd love it if you could subscribe and leave us a comment about what you'd like us to cover in our next episodes.